Hello, 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 hello. It is Thursday. Only one day, or well, you could maybe consider Friday, I guess, a weekend day. Maybe let's say half weekend day. Yeah, but today's not Friday, today's Thursday. And today we have two topics, which is not creating or continuing the character that we work on right now, but we're going to do another feedback session. We have three submissions that we're going to give personal feedback to. Of course, if you wanna, get feedback on your own, personal feedback on your own artworks, you can join the Discord. Link should be in the description. And yeah, so we have two topics. We have, first of all, of course, as always, the quick sketch, 30-minute quick sketch, which we're gonna do first, and then afterwards we will go to the second topic, which is the personal feedback session, improving your character sculpts. We have three character sculpts which we're going to look at. Yeah, and if you only wanted to see one of these topics, you can see in the timeline or in the description there should be timestamps. I think I need to still add them for the last few streams, but I'm probably going to do that tomorrow. And then yeah, there should be timestamps for all of them. Yeah, so we're gonna, of course, as always, start with the quick sketch. And today, after doing a lot of hard surface sci-fi stuff, we wanted to go some more into sci-fi. We're gonna stick with sci-fi, but we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're not gonna go with something hard surface. We sculpted a robot or a cyborg, you could say. Then we sculpted a like an armored dude. And then I sculpted some sort of, like, I don't know, astronaut dude. Today, it's not going to be any of those. It's going to be something more alien, let's say. You can see it right there. Another character, This will be the quick sketch for today. And something less, I guess, less hard, more soft. Yeah, that's going to be today's quick sketch. And then afterwards, of course, as always, we go to the personal feedback. And of course, if we still have time afterwards, depending on how long the personal feedback session takes, we're gonna go back to the character and we're gonna begin modeling the glaive. The glaive, made, I guess, the weapon of the character. Right now he just has like this blocked out sort of, just sheet of paper basically in his hand. We need to replace it with an actual weapon. Maybe we get there, or we can start modeling it today, in the last few, maybe, I don't know how long it's going to take before we get there, but we're going to do that today, maybe, if we have enough time. And if not, then I'm just going to do probably most of it as much as I can over the weekend. We'll see. But yeah, that's going to be what we're going to do today. Starting with the good old quick sketch. We have everything that we need, I think. We have the timer. We have the blender. The blender. So why don't we start with the quick sketch? Okay, perfect. I would say we begin the quick sketch, a 30-minute quick sketch, and then we're going to go to the artworks. I would say 3, 2, 1, go. There you go. Okay. First of all, as always, general shape, basic shape, to more complex. Starting off with the head shape, which is quite long, you could say. So let's start with that. Let's put it further forward. There you go. Yeah, so, with these sketches, you always, you don't have too much time. So the thing that you, not only for these quick sketches, but generally should always focus on is the overall head shape. Trying to put in, or starting with as little detail as possible, trying to portray the character or whatever you're sculpting with as little detail as possible. You can maybe even relate that back to modeling or polymodeling as well. At least that's how I did it so far. Trying to start with the most basic, blocking out whatever I want to create, and then afterwards going into more detail, adding more resolution, changing the geometry to, conform it or shape it to whatever I want to, model. And that's what we do here as well. So So this character doesn't really have a nose, so this will be a little bit more interesting because, you know, usually characters have a nose. I mean, you know, it does have a nose, but you can't really see it, or it's not really, it doesn't really have a shape. Not like a big shape, I guess you should say. You can still see that it has like a small bump, but it's not really, I guess, contributing to the face's shape necessarily. It's not like you have like a protrusion coming out of the head. So, yeah, kind of keep that in mind. Put that back here. There you go. Yeah, I like to use the crease brush to kind of indicate the most basic shapes, and then afterwards go into more detail. There you go. Maybe even with more strength here. Let's put in the mouth. Somewhere over here. That looks pretty good. Okay. Okay. I think it's too wide. No, I think the eyes are okay in terms of width. I think the head is a little bit too wide. Looking at it from the front, I think especially the forehead needs to be rounder. Bringing the head here into the middle more as well should help as well. This is a pretty long head shape. Of course, we can't really see the back, so you can kind of, I guess, improvise there or create our own sketch. Okay, nose is on the same level as the eyes. There you go. And then you can already probably see, you know, sort of the character. And that's that was the first goal. Now it comes down to detailing it more and getting the shapes into an even closer, I guess, getting the shapes even closer to the original. You can see it looks kind of like the eyes are in the cheekbones or on the cheekbones. There you go. The mouth is a little bit further forward than the nose, for example, so we kind of have to push it forward just a little bit. There you go. Bring it closer. That's pretty good. Looks like the corner of the mouth corners are actually closer together than the eyes. So I try to keep that in mind as well, making the eye shape more round. Nice. Okay. Getting better. Not perfect, but it's getting better. Let's see. So of course, it's probably gonna have if it has a mouth, it probably has a jaw. Let's try to kind of paint in or sculpt in a jaw. Let's see. Starting from here, we can maybe go up there. That should be good. Excuse me. That should be good. You know, the jaw doesn't need to be perfectly, I guess, like humans. Just kind of, I guess, I don't know. I usually like to think back to humans when it comes to characters that sort of look like, I think you call it like anthropomorph, when they sort of look like humans or humanified other creatures. You know, looking at human proportions or anatomy helps in making them look more believable and natural. So that's what I'm trying to do here. There you go. Extending the neck, and then let's pull it out. There you go. Nice and full. I don't want to make it too wide. It might be too small though, too thin. So let's include some more into this mask, and then we can pull it out. There you go. Not too long. I tend to make these necks quite long, so I kind of keep it pretty short. Maybe like this, maybe a little bit more. There you go. I'm not trying to be too crazy here, of course. There you go. Good old, I guess, extension for the neck in all directions. Perfect. Welcome back, Fratel, or Fratel. I guess Fratel. At least it sounds better. Welcome, welcome. Hope you had a great Thursday. Hope the weather was okay. Not that the weather necessarily matters in these times, but, you know, at least your mood generally is better. At least mine is better when it's, I guess, sunny. Actually, it doesn't really, isn't really true. Sometimes I actually like it when it's raining, because then afterwards you have this nice sort of fresh smell in the air, which I actually kind of enjoy. I'm not really somebody that, you know, says like, oh, I enjoy sitting on at a window and looking out and seeing like the rain fall, but, you know, I like the aftermath of rain, I guess you could say. We have 23 minutes, so we have enough time to give this some more detail. Let me just give this body some more mass here. Okay. Perfect. Should we add shoulders? Maybe not yet. Maybe we don't even need them. We'll see. Gonna add the neck. The neck is quite bulky right now, but you know, we can still make it smaller, I guess. There you go. Let's make it a little bit thinner. Character looks sort of more skinny than bulky, so it's probably better to give it a more skinny frame even in the neck area. Like this, okay. We should probably give it also clothing, so I'm gonna just pull out the body a little bit more so we have some more room to play with and add some clothing on top of. It's always kind of more like harder to think about what the clothing would look like outside of the sculpt. So just extending the sculpt so that you have more room to play, or you know, more room to, I guess, plan. It's always a good way to, you know, to reduce the amount you have to improvise or kind of think in your head. Adding shoulders here. Very, very rough. There you go. Oh, never mind. I thought I'm just sculpting on one side for some reason. But I didn't. There you go. Add the arms to the side, which will look probably kind of goofy because usually you don't have your arms right by your side, but you know, for this character, I'll do it. Let's pull this forward a little bit. Okay. I kind of feel like the chest area is too flat, so let's pull this out a little bit more, make it nice and round, or rather oval. Okay, perfect. Pull this out some more and smooth it. Okay, that's definitely better. Maybe not perfect, but better. Just gonna give it some more human proportions like the chest. That should be good enough. We're gonna add clothing anyway. Let's look at the eyes. I think that's good so far. We can maybe detail the lips a little bit more. Just giving it actual shape here. There you go. Do the same on the bottom lip. There you go. Nothing crazy. Okay. Looks kind of weird with this expression, but it has to endure its look for now. Shall we make the jaw a little bit? Yeah, let's make it a little bit slimmer. It looks kind of big right now. I think that's better. Okay. I think we're ready. No, let's add some clothing here first. So the clothing is quite simple. Let's add like a collar here first. I'm gonna try to copy the clothing that the sketch has. So yeah, let's try that. We have the collar right there. It's quite high, quite flat, you could say. And then we're going to add the jacket around it. There you go. Let's add the jacket. I think the jacket is quite big. Let's see. So we have the middle part here. It's actually, it looks like a poncho. The problem is usually with a poncho or with its poncho, it's more asymmetrical. I think I'm going to go for something more symmetrical. So I'm just going to put the sort of corner, which is on the side here. I'm going to put it into the center so I can still keep my symmetry. Otherwise, removing symmetry in these quick sketches is always a pain. Okay, we do the same in the back. There you go. Perfect. Give it some more shape here on the shoulders. We can also add a seam line to make it seem more realistic. There you go. Let's add the rest. We have the chest piece here. Can't really see it that well. I guess we can make a sort of line here in the middle just to kind of indicate like a jacket being here. Okay, I think that's a good start. Let's add some armor here. I mean I'm actually gonna make it similar to what you can see in the sketch by making it just like a short sleeve, like this. Not too long, too much longer. I think that hopefully you can see it. If not, then you know, what can you do, I guess. Not gonna try to tweak it too much. My time is too precious for that. There you go. Go in here, add some more detail here, and then at least we have some. Okay, it looks more like a t-shirt right now. That's probably because we don't really have that much layering going on. Layering is always kind of annoying when you use symmetry, because usually layering has a lot of asymmetry, like just like a I don't know, like a bag on one side and then like a pocket on another, belt on the other. It's sort of it can be quite annoying to sculpt that, especially because we can't use symmetry for it. But at least we can add this second color here. Very wobbly. There you go. Welcome back, Manica. Hope you have enjoyed your week so far. Hope the week was enjoyable. Nothing too stressful. Usually, you know, you have like 52 weeks. If at least 2/3 out of them are stress-free, I think that's a good year. I would consider that a good year. Maybe that's lowballing it. I don't know, but it sounds pretty good to me. This week for me was quite stressful, but you know, you gotta have those at least, you know, once every 3 months, I guess. There you go. Okay. Let's save it real quick and then we can continue. Quick sketch day 235. Okay. Stream sub not listed in your channel. Do you mean hold on. Is it not showing up when you, I guess, pull up my channel? Does it not show it then? Or what do you mean? Which is kind of weird because I think I actually set it up that way because that you immediately see when the live stream like is on. But I can check that again. Maybe I said something wrong. Yeah. made the wrong setting there. I'm not quite sure. Could be. Let me add some more details here before we go into some of the face details, because the face looks quite bland right now. Okay. There you go. There you go. Okay, now it doesn't really look like a poncho anymore. Let's remove these here. I think that's better then, maybe. Let's go here. Go to videos tab. I don't think you'll find live streams in the videos tab. I think if you go to the So usually if you go to, if you to the videos tab, you can see the old streams. I think the one that is currently live is the one that you can see on the, I guess, homepage of the channel. It's not really, I don't think it's going to be displayed in the videos tab. Usually the streams that are done should be visible in the videos tab. Let me check that after we're done with this. 12 minutes. We have some more time. Let's see. Let me... Okay, yeah, let's go into asymmetry after we've detailed the face a little bit. Let's go to 50. There you go. The nose needs some more love, especially. Same with the eyes. Let's go into them. There you go. Perfect. Pretty simple. Yeah, we're gonna look at that after the quick sketch is done, which is odd that you can't see it because, you know, for me it just displays it as you know, stream done, and then you should see them in the videos, which is, you know, if that's not the case, then it's kind of weird. Don't really know what I could do about that. Maybe there's some sort of setting for it, but yeah, I'll check. Kind of odd. What do you see on the videos tab then? Do you see nothing? Or do you see older streams? Or do you see only the videos that I've uploaded? Which are like few months ago now? If you're looking for a certain sort of group of streams, like creating the Reaper, for example, you can also go to the playlists. I have usually for bigger projects and usually for everything, I have at least one playlist where I put it into. Like I have a general tutorials or small projects playlist. I also have one for the Reaper. I have one, I think, for the other long-term projects, I guess you could say, that we've done. Yeah, if you're specifically looking for any of these. Only the normal videos. That sounds weird. So the last one you see there's like a month ago, or no, multiple months ago, from multiple months ago. That's interesting. Weird thing about that is that of course it doesn't really, you know, might not be related, but usually on every or almost every stream I have at least one bot message, so somehow they can find them. Just I don't, you know, just have to see what the problem is there. There you go. Nice and smooth. Okay. So the mouth looks pretty okay. Not good, but okay. For an alien face. Let's go to the eyes. The eyes need some more love. Let's see. So we're going to go in here. It looks like the eyelids are pretty exposed. So I'll try to keep that in here as well. There you go. Same for the lower eyelid. Pull it up. Perfect. Make it nice and defined. And then smooth it out on the outside. Make the crease a little bit weaker, you could say. You can search for them, but you can't find them. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, we'll look at that into that in I don't know, you know, once we're done. I'm gonna do post-processing, posting, and then we're gonna look into it. Live on stream, we're gonna do detective work. Live bug fixing or problem solving. New tutorial, how to solve all your problems in one tutorial, or how to make videos show up on your YouTube channel. There you go. Look at these eyes. Don't they look beautiful? And we're gonna make them rounder because right now no eyes could fit in there because this is quite round. I mean flat. So we need to pull them out some more. It looks kind of choppy right now, but we can probably just smooth it. There you go. Okay. Maybe that's like a new glitch or new, I don't know, like hidden function of YouTube that they don't show the streams, but which would kind of be weird, you know. Welcome back. I almost said howdy. Welcome back, howdy. Welcome back, Hustler. Hope you have enjoyed. Hope you are excited for the weekend. No more installing stuff for old people. No more, I don't know, assisting people in their purchase. Only whatever you want. For at least 2 days. Well, depends on what your life situation is. There you go. By the way, if you want to check, can you see on the videos tab on the live channel? Can you see the past streams? Oh, true. True. You said you were working on the weekends, right? So you have a free day today? Ooh. Yeah, okay. So Manica said that you can't see the past streams on the videos panel or videos tab. I wonder if that's just like a one person thing, or if you have the same problem. I have been pretty good. We finished the very, very urgent topic today. Urgent topic? Topic, what? Urgent project that we needed to finish today. We finished it. And now it's, you know, chill again. It's basically the calm after the storm. There you go. Oh, you looked at the wrong channel? Well, I mean, how do you get to... I mean, You know, I don't know. I don't want to judge. I do stupid stuff sometimes. I'm not saying, well, you know, it's can happen, I guess. There you go. Yeah, so there are two channels. There's Nogi now, and then there's Nogi itself. One's for videos, and one is for live streams. So if you're looking for short-term content, you look for Nogi. If you're looking for long-term content, you look for Nogi now. You see her talking on stream, but wait, what? Oh, you can switch between multiple streams. I think there's like the top chat, and then there's the other one. Could be if you switch between them, you can see them, see the channels. Um, 2 minutes. Well, let's optimize the head. Maybe we can go to a little bit of asymmetry. You know what we're gonna do here? It's kind of, I don't really know what top chat is, because you can't really upvote comments. So what is the top chat? Does YouTube decide what is a good comment, or I don't even know. It's such a weird thing. Like, well, this is a good comment. He used 2 emojis and 1 sentence. Good job, chatter. Now we're gonna go. Now we're gonna put you into top chat. Keep it up. You're gonna get special treatment once you achieved top chat comments 12 times. Top chat stop spams. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's actually a good function. I know that there's a different website for that, where you can split between, like, you can split it not into top chat and the other one. You can switch, like, you don't have to switch. You can see both. So one only displays the spam and one only displays the actual, like, messages, which I think can be quite useful if you have a lot of spam. Like your messages that I need to save the file. Okay, I know that I have to. Okay, I don't want to sometimes. Oh, wait, we have 54 seconds left. Well, we're probably not going to go into the clothing adding any asymmetry. But who said that anyway? He should be fired. There you go. Ah, well, you know what? Well, can we do it in 40 seconds? Maybe. There you go. Wait, but if you're watching, I guess you're watching on your phone right now. Manika. How did you get to my how did you get to my videos channel if you're watching me right now on your phone? Can't you just click or tap on the what is it, like, channel icon to get to the channel instead of, I guess, did you go to the description and use one of the links there? I guess that's what you've done. Maybe, maybe not. Putting a little bit of a beard in here. There you go. Let's inverse. Where's my modifier? There you go. Perfect. Easy. Okay. The mouth looks kind of weird, but that's okay. Alt F4, you better. I dare you. You're not allowed to look at the feedback I'm gonna give you on your sculpt, okay? You're not allowed. Only other people can can look at it. You have to guess. Okay, there you go. I don't think the eye shape is perfect right now for eyes, but we'll see. Let's see. So what if we grab good old spheres, make it nice and smooth. Wait. Oh. You removed your sculpt? No, I still have it. The one in off topic? Well, I grabbed the one in off topic. Don't you want feedback on that? Should I just remove it? I mean, I can do that if you want. It's your choice. I think that's okay. It's not perfect, but it's better. It's okay for a quick sketch. Tested it yesterday on my PC. Ah, okay, I guess he just looked up the name. Wait, why is there a subdivision? Oh, of course. Okay. Time to render. The one you said had nice face ears. I can't remember. Well, hold on. Yeah, I guess if you removed it, I can't see it anymore, but it's hold on. So, don't you want me to give you feedback on it? On the bust sculpt? If not, then, you know, I'm gonna remove it. If you don't want to. It is your choice. Whether you want to drastically improve your skills by getting personal feedback on your own artwork, tailored to your piece. Okay, where are my lights? They're not here anymore. They're gone. It looks so weird here with the mouth. Probably gonna it's probably gonna look weird afterwards as well, without any teeth. But that's what we have to live with now. Well, I always troll myself. I always grab the wrong collection for the lights. It's always the other one. For one piece has all the lights in the lights collection, and another one has it in geometry. And I always have to guess, and I always guess the wrong one. There you go. Nice and dark. Yeah, it is on topic. Well, I know, but yeah, okay. Well, if you don't want feedback on it, then I'm gonna remove it. That's if that's what you want. Wait, hold on. Let me see what you wrote under it, or what you wrote for it. Which one would this one even work on stream? So you're not alluding to that I am supposed to show it on stream. Okay, well, I mean, I'm not gonna force your hand, you do whatever you want, okay? Perfect, look at him. Look at his eyes. Isn't he, or she, isn't it beautiful? Wait, we need one more thing, which is the good old material. There it is, hopefully, maybe not, maybe we grabbed the wrong one. Of course we did. Why would we ever grab the right one? This one is the right one, yep. Oh, look at those nice contours around the paint, I guess, I don't know what you want to call that. Face patterns. Okay. The light. No, I want to have a different color. What about a nice green? Maybe not full on green because we had that already. Maybe something more like yellow green. That's pretty cool. It's quite strong though. Actually, it's actually quite weak. What about 2,500? Oh, no. So I like having a strong color because then you generally have a bigger transition. But with this one, it actually doesn't really work that well. We could maybe use it for as a rim light like this. This could look pretty cool. I like that. Then we don't really have that much color in the front, but I think it still looks pretty cool. I think we're going to keep it like this. What is this one here? What are you? Oh, you're for the eyes. Perfect. Nice and small. By the way, if you decrease the size of a light, the intensity stays the same, which means that it's going to be brighter. Or it's going to appear brighter in any reflections. You can see it right here in the eyes. You can see there it's super, super white. If I make it bigger, you can see it gets dimmer, 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 dimmer. Because the power gets distributed over more, I guess, what is it? More room. Welcome back. Oh, feet. I don't know why, but it's hard for me to pronounce that. Welcome back. Nice alien, thank you. I'm very proud of it. Okay. Render, there you go. Perfect. Oh, wait. I think my water is empty. I need to refill it again. I don't know why, but I always forget it. Gonna post the head I did today. If you want to give feedback, if you still have time left after you're done with the others. We have 2 right now, so you know, you can still post it. I think the maximum that we ever had was like 4 or 5. I think 3 is a good number. Yeah. You know, half an hour for each, which would mean that we are at like 1.5 hours after all of them. I think that's pretty good. Then we might have some more time to begin the glaive. The glaive will be pretty interesting, but also, yeah, pretty interesting. We're just going to start with the basics if we have some more time afterwards, which I think we will. Yeah. Good old post-processing. Happy critique day. Oh, welcome back, Zachary. Mr. Hyde. Hope you enjoyed your Thursday. Maybe you've been looking into some more, or you've done some more likeness sculpting. Maybe not. 0.25 maybe. Let's see. Wait, what did I do? Oh, hold on. What happens if I set it to 0.01? Oh, it actually, I thought it would be completely white. Well, let's set it to 2. What I don't like about it is that it's sort of bringing it down to these small dots, which make it look kind of weird. But I think that's just how it works. Oh, this looks pretty cool. I like that. Perfect. Okay. Times 8. Save it. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited to go into the glaive because this is like, I always said I wanted to do some more, something more like hard surface modeling for a gun, for example. And I think a glaive or a sword comes pretty close to that. So I'm kind of, you know, happy that I can get into that now. I think if you break it down, pretty simple. Okay, it's completely, it's 100% empty. Well, there's like a small drop in it still, but you know, yeah, I'm happy that we're still gonna get into like a weapon modeling. Gonna be back in 30 minutes, 30 seconds, and then we're gonna do some last post-processing on this beautiful sculpture, and then we're gonna go into the feedback session. I'll see you in 30 seconds. And of course, don't forget, stay hydrated. Sorry, I didn't put up restroom break. I'm sorry. Sorry, I left up this uncertainty for so long. You know, I could have been gone forever. But now I'm back. Okay, perfect. It is time for post-production number 2. There you go. Quick sketch number 235. There you go. Yesterday we had 234, which was a nice number. 235. I'm waiting for quick sketch day 420. That's where I'm gonna stop it. That's gonna be the peak, the best quick sketch we're ever gonna do. Okay, let's do some. Oh, I actually created, I think, a pretty good, I guess, image that we can use when that I can use when I start modeling the glaive, depending on when that is. I can show it to you in just a second. The concept art had a pretty good front shot of it, or a side shot, where you can see, I guess all the details and how it's sort of constructed. And then the only thing you couldn't really see was the sort of handle part. I could, I just grabbed another piece and kind of put them together. Hold on, where is it? There it is. Look, I think that's pretty good. It's nice and straight, so you don't really have to... Oh, it's not straight. Hold on. Oh, no. You can see it right there. Let me just align it real quick. Come on. There it is. Is it straight now? Let's see. Oh. Nope. There you go. Perfect. Look at it. Isn't it perfectly balanced, perfectly straight? Yeah, I just added the handle from the gameplay video, and I also added this sort of piece here from the cosplay pieces that we have. There you go. Let's save it as a JPEG so that we can import it into Blender and use it there. There you go. Good thing is, because it's made out of so many small pieces, it's quite simple actually to model. Well, I say that now, probably regretting it afterwards, but from what it looks like, it's quite simple to model. I'm going to show you what I mean in just a second. Let me just think about what I want to do here. Okay. So, yep. So, if you want to break it down, it's pretty simple. You have the basic shape, which is basically just... Hold on, let me grab the color. It is basically just the... of course, the blade is pretty simple here. There you go. Then we have the handle, which is also pretty simple, just like this. Going up on both sides. Then this one has like a small, sort of small curve in there, but it just basically goes down like this, goes into the middle, and then it sort of gets, I guess, it's hidden underneath these plates or whatever you want to call them, which then sort of go forward here, go around, and that is basically the basic shape of, I guess, the wood part. Then above that are these different plate pieces, and then of course you have this hinge right there where you have the blade attached to it. It seems like the mechanic would be that you can sort of fold it together like a butterfly knife, that you can grab this blade right here and you can put it like over there so that it, I don't know, it's just smaller, I guess. That's why you have this hinge right there to rotate it. So you have a individual blade piece, which is, in itself pretty simple. The details you could add either by modeling them or just using a texture. We'll probably use a texture. So you have the blade piece, which is fairly simple with some smaller details here. Then you have the body, and then you have these smaller plate, I guess, plate details like these spikes, and the rest here, like this one here. Here's a plate. There's a plate right here, and then you have one big right here, and just some multiple layers on top. Good thing about that is that we don't really have to, well, it looks complex when you put everything together, but if you look at each individual plate, it's actually quite simple. Maybe this one is the most complex one because you have these spikes and then you also have these other spikes here. But looking at something like this, for example, it is actually a pretty simple shape. You have just like a spherical shape here, and then it goes pretty sharp in the end. This one is pretty simple. Yeah, overall, you know, quite easy. Well, let's say simple. I wanted to use something else than simple because I use it so much, but let's say easy. No, I don't want to say easy because I don't know if it's going to be easy, but I think it's going to be easy to put together. Okay, yeah. Share pig. Okay, hold on. Oh, inspiration. There you go. Wait, where's my image? Oh, I need to go here. Where are you? There it is. If anyone is interested to model the Reaper glaive. No, it's not a glaive, it's a scythe, right? Is there a scythe? Hold on, let me see. Scythe? Nope, okay. Well, let's use... Are there any weapons? Well, there's a knife, right? But there's no... There's a gun or a water gun. Let's use a baguette. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, for a weapon like this, you could maybe argue that another shot from the side or from here would be good. But I think overall, this is really the only shot that we really need. We can see these small spikes, where they attach to, and where the small, I guess, spheres are in the glaive. We can basically see everything that we need in here. Okay, more about this later. Let's finish the quick sketch. Nope. Let's go to let's use white first. Make it a little bit stronger, not too much, and then go to gray. Okay, perfect. So small these changes, but they, you know, make it a little bit more. Give it a little bit more contrast. There you go. So for today's feedback session, we're probably going to focus mostly on creating realistic characters. So if you want to know what makes a character, what you need to pay attention to make your character look realistic, then this might be the perfect stream for you. Of course, we generally always sort of talk about it. But today I kind of want to focus on that specifically, especially for one or two pieces. That's going to be the main topic. There you go. Save it right there. Okay. Welcome back. Pavid Darken. Dude. Okay. I think I know what you did there with your name, but it's still hard to to say. Let's go back. Okay. You know what's happening? We're gonna play the compilation, and then I actually I requested vacation days for the next 2 weeks after the next week. So we're in like 8, no, in 10 days. So maybe there I'm gonna make a new compilation, so you might have something new to look at. Maybe not, we'll see what I'm gonna spend my time on. But I think we definitely have enough footage, or enough, I guess, pieces that we could put together into a compilation. There you go. That's probably also going to be the time where I'm going to upload more videos, just because I have more time. Okay. Dude, I don't know why, but for some reason Windows apparently reads my phone differently now. Okay, who cares? Okay, I'm going to see you in 3 minutes. I mean, yeah, in 3 minutes we're going to play the compilation. Hope you enjoy it. And then afterwards we're going to begin with the personal feedback session. We're going to give feedback to all the images that have been submitted. If you want to be someone that gets feedback on their own pieces, you know, if you've been working on a piece for a long while, and you know, of course, everybody always wants to do better with the next one. If you want to get some external help, some external feedback on them, you can submit them in the Discord. The link, you're gonna get it if you type !Discord in the chat. So I don't know why, but I think on Twitch, Nightbot doesn't work. Maybe that was just a bug, but if not, then I'm just gonna put it in chat myself. Okay, good to see you in 3 minutes, and then we're gonna begin the feedback session. Enjoy. Okay, we're back. We're back and on track for some knowledge, okay? You know what the most important thing is in life? Knowledge. So let's distribute some knowledge. Okay, hold on. We have no blend file, so we don't really need Blender, but let me just open a new file just to have a blank slate. I want to try a new thing. So I think if you open images in your Windows image viewer, I think you can put like scribbles on it, but I don't know those, how easily you can remove them, but we're gonna try. So let's go in here. We have no, we don't. Hold on. Let me go back again. I need to organize my pieces here, because there were some changes. Oh, there is actually a blend file, okay. Hold on. Let me just quickly download it too. Oh no. No, there's only one, okay. Where am I? Wrong folder. So we have 3 submissions today. 1 being a blend file, 2 being an image, and usually I like to sketch out basically what I would change, or my feedback into the image, and then I would go to Photoshop and try to sort of simulate what I would do, or what my feedback is, which means the problem is I would like to use Photoshop, but for some reason I don't know why, and I don't know what the reason is, but for some reason Photoshop just at some point decides to die. I don't know why, but then Photoshop just freezes up. You can't do anything anymore, except for looking at the image. And, well, what are you supposed to do then? You have to restart Photoshop and, open everything up again, which is annoying. So I'm looking for a good alternative to just scribble around. We're going to try Windows Image Viewer. We'll see how that works. So we have 3, as I said before, we have 3 pieces. We have 3 artworks today that have been posted. 1 from Zero, 1 from Passion, and 1 from Hustler. We're going to begin with Zero, then we're going to go to Passion, and then we're going to go to Hustler, according to when they posted their pieces. Zero posted before in on Discord. He said, what was it? So first of all, I don't know which file or which blend version I need to open your Alexa file. You posted the a model where you use the latest beta cores of the Vertex Paint. I don't know which version I need, because I looked into the blend dev builds, or all the builds basically of Blender. I wasn't really sure which one to use. I didn't really see one of them that looked like said beta. There was one that said, I think, alpha, and another one was like contender or something, and then of course the live build. But I didn't see any beta builds. So yeah, I could look at that. But you've posted a new version of your character that you've posted before, with a new outfit, and also just some some changes to the character itself. Microsoft Paint, I don't even know if I have it on here. Probably, right? It's like a standard app. Yeah, I'm gonna try the image viewer first. So he said, in both models I was trying to do realistic models just in case. He could be referring to the Vertex Paint file, but I'm gonna attribute it, or I'm gonna treat his images that he posted in the Discord with the same sort of eye, let's say. And if he wants to, model realistic models, then I'm gonna give you feedback today on what you can improve on your pieces, or on your model that you've posted, to make it look more realistic. So if we now go into the images, of course we have different views here. Let's go through them real quick. We have the full body view right here. We have a back view. We have a front view. And then we have a, I guess, well, no, a 3/4 view, maybe like, I don't know, 4/6 view. And then we have the front view. Do we have one more? Oh, we have one that is close up. And that's all of them. I think what I want to focus on today, I think, yes, last time we talked a little bit more about body proportions. I think the body proportions in itself look pretty good. I want to focus more on the face today. Focusing on, yeah, what you can improve in the face to make it look more realistic, basically. Let's see how this works now. So, oh, there you go. What can we do here? We can draw. Let's see. So we can use different markers, which is already good. Okay. Oh, okay. Can we use a pen though? Is that a possibility? We can erase, but we can't press. Wait. So you can draw, but you can't just erase. You can either. Oh. So you can. Okay. What is this? Okay, that's a smaller pen, you can't press Ctrl Z, which is annoying. If you go over a drawing with your eraser, you remove everything instantly, which is kind of annoying, but well, let's try it. Oh, this one is sort of, it helps you with smooth strokes. Okay. Let's try, yeah, let's try this one. So he wanted to create realistic characters. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna focus on today. What can you do to make this character look more realistic? One thing that is, I think, so that is not really part of basically how to change the model to make your character look more realistic. This one is more catered, or this one is more about the lighting. Generally, oftentimes you can distinguish unrealistic or less realistic models from more realistic models in terms of their depth. Do they have like can you see the planes of the face? Can you see very distinct shadows, for example, on the cheekbone or on the nose, on the eye, on the around the eye basically? Can you see these very distinct shadows in the face? Or can you not? Generally, if you cannot see them, the face looks more shallow. There are not like these deep spots, these darker spots. It looks a little bit less realistic because, you know, the face has quite distinct features which protrude or which create this certain structure which makes shadows fall in a certain way. If a face doesn't have that, if it looks very, very smooth and very, I guess, round, then it looks less realistic. And I think one thing that can kind of do the same, that can create the same problem, is using HDRIs. It looks like you use an HDRI looking at, for example, the chest piece. You can see the reflection in it. I don't think HDRIs in general, I wouldn't say don't use HDRIs, but I think some certain HDRIs, especially ones where you can see sky, tend to wash out an image. Of course, if you think about it, characters that are realistic, or if you want to make characters as realistic as possible, they should look realistic in all lighting conditions. But I think you can, especially if we carefully go into detail, if we can really look at the model in detail, and we only have images to look at, I think it's beneficial when you want to make it appear realistic or more realistic, to use specific lighting basically. Of course, you can go with a good old 3-point lighting. That would be the easiest one. One in the back as a rim light to kind of highlight the silhouette of the character. One coming from the front or slightly from the side. Well, more from the side, like from over here, for example, to create the main light that also creates the main shadows on the other side. And then you have one more on the other side to just lighten up the shadows so that it's not completely black on this side. Basically to, yeah, if it's not completely black, by adding this third light right here, you can create depth while still being able to see this side of the character. If everything's black, you can't really see anything. So that's one thing that you can do. If you, for example, go into, I don't know, you should take a photo of yourself holding a flashlight at night on this side to your face, you're probably not going to see what's on this side at all because it's just pure black. So that's why you add a second light on this side, just to, you know, highlight the dark spots of the face as well, without making everything sort of, you know, too bright. Yeah, so maybe to light your character, what you can do is not use an HDRI, but actually in a 3-point light. That's what I use for my quick sketches. If we look at the last quick sketch, I usually always use the same sort of lighting scene here. Looking at the looking at this, you can see I can show you which light contributes how. So if we remove all the lights right now, you can see it's almost black. We have some environmental lighting because the world shader for the lighting, which is this one right here, isn't pure black. Sometimes if you have, if your shadows aren't 100% black, if you use basically the lights from Blender itself, then that could be because your background shader here is not completely black. If I put this to black, you can see the character is completely black. Now I separated the environment lighting from the background, so I can, for example, switch this to a nice bright pink while still lighting the character with this one in a bright green, for example. So I can still do that with this setup here. And then I can plug in an environment texture, for example, in here, so that I can still have a gray background while using an HDRI. Yeah. If you want to make shadows pretty dark, you set this to a dark, even maybe black. I usually tend to use it or set it to something grayish, and then the background you can use whatever. And then if you want to, or how I like to set up my lights is, let's go over the different lights that we have here. We have the main light, which is coming from up top. You can see it highlights the eyes, it highlights the face. You can see the face is lit up. You can't see the side of the face. You can see the front, the chest area. And generally it adds not only highlights to the face, as you can see here, the reflection is the brightest here in the front. You have some mid-tones here, these gray tones, and then you have very dark tones on the side. And then you also add another light, which would probably be this one. Nope, that's the other. Well, for this one, I actually don't use a fill light, I think it's called. The fill light would be to light up your image, or to lighten up the shadows. I think I don't use it here because generally I don't have my shadows here on this side too dark, and also because I add this sort of light here on the side, you can still, with this light, still highlight some areas of the face. And then the last light that I like to add, this is basically the colored rim light, this one right here. The other one that I add is a white rim light. That is the most basic one that I add. Sometimes I like to make it big, sometimes I like to make it small. The smaller the light, the sharper the shadows. So if you like very, very sharp contours, or these key lights, no, they're rim lights, then you would make the light pretty small. Then I also have another light just to bring some reflections into the eyes. Right there, you can see. Without and without it, with it, you can see it right there and there. So if you go through them individually, we have a fill light right there. Then we have a reflection light for the eyes. If it also contributes to the lighting itself, but I like to set it as low as possible so that it is still visible in the eyes, but doesn't really contribute to the overall look of the character or lighting of the character. Then I like to add a rim light that adds some color to the quick sketch in some area, either there or somewhere else, depending on what I think looks good. And then in the end, I like to add another rim light right there, just to, as you can see, with and without it, you can see how here it basically goes over into the background. This is gray on gray, you can't really see the contour, but then once we add the rim light, you can see very specifically where the character ends, just to kind of highlight the silhouette and shape of the character some more. So the most basic stuff that I would suggest you use is this one, then this one. Maybe you can pull it over here some more. You can play around with where you want to place it. Bring in some more over to this side. And then maybe one more on the other side. We can maybe move this over here. Make it less strong, maybe like 100. It doesn't really have to be too much. Maybe even less, like 50. Just to kind of alleviate the darkness on the left side. If we bring this all the way to black, and I remove this light here on the side, you can see that's completely black. If we bring this in, it's still pretty dark. We can maybe even make it darker. What about 15? There you go. It's pretty dark, but if we remove this light, it's completely black. You can't see anything on this side. Once we add this light, you can at least see something. And then if we place the light maybe even in the background somewhere over here, you can maybe even create some nice deep spots here by just placing the light in a certain way that you can make these creases, have some shadows. And this way you can add depth to the dark spots of a character as well. Okay, that was a long talk about how you can light your character. You can try that maybe. Maybe that helps. Generally HDRIs, we can try it. We can compare this lighting to an HDRI real quick. So if we use an HDRI, let's use one with sky lighting. Oh, I don't want to make a new one. Let's use, there you go, HDRIs. Let's use this one. See, so you can still see a little bit of depth. You can of course also rotate your HDRI to have the shadow somewhere else. But generally, there isn't really that much depth in the character. Of course, because I use a material that gives it more like these dark contours, you can see more of the character. But if I remove it, you can see it's completely washed out. You can't really see anything. Even if I rotate the HDRI, it's really hard to really see anything, any specific shapes on the character. Let's try the well, let's see, let's put it to this side here. See, you kind of get there, but it's all sort of in the same brightness spectrum. If we compare that to the lighting here. Oh, there you go. There you go. We can see here we have the we have some very, very bright spots in the front. We have some gray areas here, and then we have a very, very dark spot over here. This way you can, with these lights, you know, light your character in a more, I guess, specific way. Okay, so that you can try that just to kind of highlight the shape of the character a little bit more. Maybe that could help in making the character, you know, appear more realistic. If you, for example, look at your character in this view here, and then you look at it in rendered view and you see, well, it kind of doesn't really look at all like the character in the viewport. It could be because of the lighting. This is very, very specifically set up in a way that it highlights contours, the viewport, and you know, maybe your 3D or rendered lighting doesn't really do that as well. Yeah, lighting, number one. Then let's go to the next. Let's focus on the face. The first thing that jumped out to me was the hair. So right now it looks more like a wig, in the sense that it looks like gold hair. I think I guess you wanted to do blonde hair. It could be the case that you wanted to do gold hair, but I'm gonna go with that you wanted to do blonde hair. If you look at blonde hair, I'm gonna actually pull up a person that I think comes pretty close to your character, that I also used in the tutorial, which is right here in my faces collection. There you go. I think this one is pretty close to what you want to do here. You can see the difference in color in this blonde and this blonde. This one's very, very saturated, very, very yellow. This one is more brownish, whitish yellow, or beige, you could say. I think if you tone down the saturation, maybe even add some color differences. You can see there we have some multiple colors in this hair. We have some white strands, we have some darker strands here, we have some mid-tone strands. What you can do if you use particle hair is you can add a texture, usually a noise texture is what I like to use, to your particle hair emitter, and then the particle hair will take that color from the texture, and this way you can have sort of different colors in your hairstyle. Yeah, that's basically how you can do that. So you can set up a texture with, for example, a color ramp, then you can color the different gradients. You can make gray like this, you know, beige, then you can make the white something more whitish, you know, yellowish, and then the dark spots something more brownish. And this way you could probably achieve something more natural. Or of course, if you wanted to go for something more like a wig, you know, it could be like a, I don't know, what, you know, whatever kind of character you had in mind. You know, maybe it's supposed to look that way, but if you're going for realism, I think that could help you make this character look more realistic. For hair in general, looking at it again, I think you have, so the hair that you have right now, I think if we go to the hair theory that I like to talk about, or at least how I explain how I think about hair, is hair has 3 steps to it, or 3 stages. You have the volume phase, you have the shape or structure phase, and then you have the detail phase. If you want to go, or if you want to see something more in depth about that, how I explained it and go through the entire process, you can look at my either the how to create a realistic character in 4 minutes video on my videos channel, or you can look at the how when we created a female orc character on the live channel. We also created a hairstyle for it, which might interest you in how I did it. I went first, I shaped the general volume or shape of the hairstyle first, then I added smaller strands, or with big strands, then I added smaller strands to add some more irregularity and some more, I guess, deviant strands to the hair to kind of break up the monotonous flow of the volume hair. And then afterwards I added some very individual small hair particles to just add some randomness to the hairstyle itself. So if you're interested in that, you can look at that as well. Okay, that covers sort of the hairstyle or the hair itself. Let's go to the face. I like this. I like to use this as a reference to what could we change to make this face look more like this. This is a real picture. This is not. So let's go over what you could change to make this look more like this. I don't want to go over proportions necessarily, because I think proportions are more subjective. You could say, well, I like the character to look more like this. I want to have, the proportions aren't really what I want to look at. I want to look more at the things that distinguishes this from this character. I think one thing that immediately jumped out to me is the eyes. Let me explain what I mean. First thing, there are maybe 2 or 3 things I think that you could change to make your character's eyes look more realistic, or more like this. For proportions, I would find a balance. What do you mean? Like do you mean find a balance while critiquing, or do you mean find a balance while creating? Okay, so let's talk about what I mean with the eyes. Let's talk about the irises first. I think one thing you can change to make your irises look more realistic is change their size. I think the irises are quite small compared to the eyeball size, let's say, or the eye size in itself. Looking at this person, you can see the comparison between the two. These irises are way bigger than yours. Generally speaking, the eyeball is generally as wide as the width of your, like the opening of your eye from one corner of the eye to the other, maybe a little bit bigger. And then the iris generally touches or slightly gets covered by the lower eyelid, as you can see right here. Let me just go in here. There you go. You can see here the iris gets slightly covered by the lower eyelid and reaches all the way up to the upper eyelid, and slightly or more than the lower eyelid gets covered by the upper eyelid. The upper eyelid sometimes even covers more, well, almost half of the iris. So generally speaking, the upper eyelid covers more of the iris than the lower eyelid, but the iris touches both of them. For your character, I can't really zoom in here, can I? Well, that's annoying. Hold on, that's actually pretty annoying. You know what? Screw it. Why did I even consider doing anything else? There you go. Okay. Blender was the answer after all. Where's my paint? Oh, there you go. Okay. So, oh, we even have gradients. Nice. Can I have like a... Oh, there you go. Okay. So, you can see here, looking at the... How did I zoom in again? Dude, I'm too bad at this. Wait, you can't zoom in if you paint? Dude. Okay, I'll just scroll. Okay. Balance between makers of paint. We'll try that at some point, okay? Making things proportional and unique, if that makes sense. Yeah, so... Okay, yeah, I know what you mean. So the balance lies in between... Okay, so when it comes to proportions, we can speak about that for just a second. When it comes to proportions, there are rules to... No, there are guidelines. Well, no, okay. There are rules. There are rules to the proportions of the face. For example, the nose, bottom of the nose is where the ears start, and roughly on the eyelids of roughly where the eyelids are is where the top of the ears, where it ends basically up top. Stuff like that are like rules or guidelines for a character's face. The nose is in the middle of the face, well, generally speaking. The eyes are in the middle or vertically of the face. Stuff like that are rules that you can use to create the standard face shape, the standard human with standard human proportions. But then these rules can be changed to give characters character, basically. So a character is basically just a character is basically taking the basic human proportions and then changing them in unique ways, in different ways, that makes this character unique and different to other characters. You know, why is Mickey Mouse different, well, to Minnie Mouse? Why is Mickey Mouse different to Minnie Mouse? Because Minnie Mouse has I think a pink, first of all, a pink dress, and then a pink, what is it, this bow tie on her ear, and then also she has these eyelashes. Only looking at Mickey's face, for example, he's different as a character to Minnie Mouse. You can distinguish between the two even if they don't have the clothing from their eyes. You know, one of them has eyelashes, one of them doesn't, so you know, one's Minnie, one's Mickey. You know, you have the standard mouse, I guess, frame or proportions, and then you add or change small things to make the character unique and different from other characters. So, yeah. Going to the eyes, you can see right here, your eyelid is down here, and your iris is up here. So I think, and then of course you can see the upper eyelid slightly covers the iris, which is good, but the lower eyelid doesn't. I don't think what you should do is push the iris down. I think what you should do is just make the iris bigger. I think what kind of looks sort of not scary but weird right now, which can probably be improved very easily, is if you look at, for example, this smiley here. Hold on. So you have two smileys here. You have this one, and then you have this one. I think we talked about that before. There you go. One smiley looks like this. There you go. And then one, hold on. There you go. One looks like this. And then you have another one that looks like this. Well, the other one looks high. I don't know. Okay, this doesn't really work that well. But generally speaking, if you make the the iris is too small, it kind of looks like they're like stressed out or stressed out or like crazy. I think if you make the irises just a little bit bigger, it makes it look more natural and fits better into the eye, makes the proportions more realistic. Maybe the eyeballs are just too small. Maybe you can just make the eyeballs a little bit bigger to fit them better in the eyes. So this is the first thing that I would say you could change to make the character look more realistic. Comparing it to the reference right here, you can see this one has way bigger irises than yours has. And then another one would be the makeup. I think generally speaking, makeup overall is a little bit more delicate. It has a certain flow to it. I think what you could do to improve what you have right now is to make it a little bit less bold, you could say. Can we use there you go. Let me grab this. So if I would change this here, what I would do is maybe even remove all this and then start somewhere over here. Maybe like this. It's more supposed to be a wing than a body, a bird. It's only supposed to be a wing, not a bird. Of course, there are some makeups that include the entire upper eyelid, but if they do, what they generally do is they keep just a very, very slight line down here. So it would look something like this. Nothing more, not really like over here. Generally speaking, it's a very, very fine line on the inside, and then on the outside you have this very, very big wing with a nice flow going out, and then here it has a nice sharp ending and goes back into in a nice swing right here. In one flow you go back to the lower eyelid shape basically, or curve. Generally speaking, you are always, the endings of these wings are quite sharp. They just end in a nice gradient from thick to thin and then go like this. Comparing the two, you can probably see the difference. We could look at some different makeups and to kind of just see it. For this one, you can't really see it, but you could maybe say, well, it starts very, very thin here, gets thicker, 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 and this is the widest or thickest spot. And then down here, you don't really have any makeup. Or, well, no, like, what is it, like eyeliner? Let's look at some references here. Let's go here. Makeup. Okay. This one's pretty good. This one is pretty bold, pretty big. This one is also pretty good. This one's pretty close up. For this one, you can see it is pretty bold, or it is pretty big in terms of its the amount that has been applied and the thickness of the line. But you can see a certain flow to it. You can see it ends sharply. You can see it here in the corner of the eye. It ends very sharply. Oh, there you go. It ends very sharply. Follows the curve of the eyelid and then ends very sharply on the outside as well. Of course, it then goes up again, but that's not really what we're looking at here. We're looking at the wing. The wing ends very sharply. It then goes down, follows the curve of the lower eyelid, and then ends very sharply here as well. So comparing it to yours, or comparing these two, well, let's look at the other references that we had here. This one, you can see it goes all the way around the eye, but especially here in the inner corner, you can see how thin it is. See it right there? Very, very thin, and then goes way, way thicker on the outside. So I think just kind of reducing the amount of thickness, especially here in this area, can probably help, and then maybe making the endings of your wing, and especially where they end, well, basically the endings of the lines should be thin. Basically, If we would, can we actually do this in here? We can probably, right? If we use pressure, so we're gonna make this very big. That's gonna be hard. It should look something like this. This sausage right there is what I mean. It should be very thin in the beginning. It should get very large, very big, and then it should get thin again. If we would draw out an eye or an eye line, it would look something like this. And then like this. Maybe you could shift some more of that thickness over here. But especially important is to make the ending right here and the beginning quite thin. And then we could maybe even pull it down over here. There you go. Oh, then you have the eye. Yeah, I think that's one thing you can change. Comparing these two, you can see what I mean with it. We're probably going to do that in Photoshop afterwards as well. So yeah, iris change, and the makeup can probably do a lot in changing the shape and look of the eyes. Then one thing that what I had in mind is looking at the reflections, which maybe don't really tell us that much. Let's look at some other references here. Comparing this character to the character that you've posted before for the last feedback session. I think it's this one. Nope, it's not this one, right? Nope, it's not. Probably previously 6. There it is. This one. So one thing that I thought about with this character is, I think, or no, actually with this character as well. I think in general, the first layer, the most basic shape of a human face, you can sculpt pretty well. So yeah, basically, you know, the basic proportions, like the, I don't know, the where to place your eyes, where to place the mouth, where to place the nose, the ears and all that stuff. I think what you can still improve on is the mid-level, basically where you think about adding the fat pad, adding I think one thing you can do to improve the sculpt of your character would be to look at the different fat pads of the face. Let me look at some references here, hold on, so we can see it, what I mean, and what you can look at to maybe, you know, include that in your next sculpt would be in here. Let's maybe this one. There it is. Well, this one's kind of annoying to see it. Do we have a better one? Head. There it is. This one is pretty good. You can see here, the face is quite bumpy, you could say. You have some fat over the eye, which covers the eyelid, which creates this crease right there. You have some fat here going from the nose over to the side here of the mouth. You have one covering the corner of the mouth. You have one maybe even on the chin, then of course under the chin, around the cheek, around the jaw, which makes the jaw look less or more defined. And then of course the more chubby the person is, the character is, the rounder the face gets, but it still has you can still distinguish the different fat pads in the face. I think what you can do to improve your sculpt, your character sculpts, is now that you kind of know where to place the proportions, how to, you know, create a character. Of course, you can always improve on that. I can still improve on it too, but I think one thing you can focus more on now are the fat pads, for example. Fat pads are one thing. One thing you can also think about are sharp areas in the face, like for example the cheekbone. You could maybe you know, let the cheekbone stick out a little bit more, which creates, you know, makes the character look more unique. And also where to place the cheekbone, and you know, how far out it is, to bring not only some round parts into the face, but also some sharp edges or some sharp parts. So the cheekbone would be something pretty sharp. You would have this edge right here, or maybe here in the middle, the inside here would be pretty sharp, looking at the reference that we had here. Hold on. Do we have some good sharp... Oh, I deleted it. I mean, closed it. No, this one, right? Yeah. Sharp areas include stuff like maybe the bridge, especially the corner of the eye, generally pretty sharp. You have a very sharp edge right there. Maybe the tip of the nose as well. The tip can be quite defined. The tip sometimes is quite pointy. The nostril sort of crease right there. The nose shape, of course, it varies quite often. But generally speaking, the shape of it is something like... So this is the nose. There you go. Very bad nose. Hold on, let me do it again. There you go. And then the nostril, I mean the nose holes would look something like this. There you go. Well, that's quite big, but you know what I mean? Like these ovals being turned in. So you have a pyramid where the mouth should be right here. And then for the tip, you have like this ball here in the front. Yeah, like medium details are basically... It's similar to when you create your character. You create the base mesh first, or you block out the character first to kind of bring in the likeness, But then once you add the medium level of, let's say, details or shapes, then you really make the character look like the character that you want to create. You can highlight or you can define the eye shape some more, the eye rotation. You can add the fan pads to bring some more structure in the face, which you can see in one of your sculpts, which is why I showed it. This one right here. You can see that you've added some fan pads here. Right there, for example. You can see the line pretty clearly. You can't really see, I think the corner of the mouth is quite sharp still. So I think in general, looking at the, maybe even just the 3 layers of the face or of the human body, bone, muscle, and then fat, to really understand how the face is built, especially the fat pad area, can probably help you a lot in making your characters look more realistic. And then, yeah, that would be another tip that I would give you. Looking at the after, you've learned the basic planes of the head, you can look at the medium details. Yeah, the eyes, medium details, the hair, we talked about the hair. And then of course, when it comes to texturing somebody, I think one thing that you can add to make your character look more realistic would be to add subsurface shadowing. Subsurface shadowing is important for every human, especially human character, because skin is light can go through skin. So if you want to make a realistic character, you need to include subsurface shadowing in your material. It doesn't seem like you have added it here. So yeah, so for example, adding that as well can probably also help. I usually like to use for a general skin shader, I think I like to use a roughness of 0.3, maybe 0.4, and then a subsurface shadowing of like, I don't really know what I use for subsurface shadowing, maybe 0.2, maybe less, depends on, yeah, always depends on the looks, I guess. But yeah, that could also be something that you can change. Generally, if you don't use subsurface shadowing, it kind of looks like it's like a wax model instead of like a real character. Okay, so the hair. Woo. Oh, well, that's no color that I want to use here. There you go. Generally, the hair. What an outline. There you go. The eyes, the iris. Iris size, eyelid or eye makeup shape. You could also think about adding eyelid hair to, add, stuff like this. Could probably also help in making your character look more realistic, because if, without hair, it kind of looks kind of weird. And then medium level details, like the small fan pad here, the fan pad going down here, the one down here, maybe even going over the muscle that is right here, maybe just kind of bringing it in slightly. You don't have to, sometimes you don't need it, or you don't know, not every character or not every person, you can't see it with every person. Yeah, and then, some sharp areas here, maybe even here. Well, it's kind of hard to see there. The jaw right there. You know, just to kind of bring in a mix of sharp and soft and deep and shallow. That's sort of the thing that you can focus on next. Let's go to Photoshop real quick and do the changes that we can do in Photoshop, I guess, to the character. The only real thing that I'm interested in is the iris shape, and maybe we can adjust the makeup as well. We can't really change the hair too much. Okay, so let's grab the iris real quick, both. Da-da-da. Oh, that's nope, hold on. Perfect. Okay. Make him bigger. Okay. Put it in the eyes, and then there you go. We can maybe even use a mask to bring them underneath the eyelids. Oh, hold on. Perfect. There you go. Before and after. Da-da-da. You can maybe even lower the eyelids a little bit. Let me go into here. Let's do some small changes here. And then we have the final version. Lowering the eyelids, maybe, or maybe bringing the lower eyelid higher just slightly can also help. Generally the lower eyelid is quite, I guess, horizontal. Okay, there you go. Okay, that's the first change. And then we can also look at the makeup. Should we do it in... yeah, let's do it in here as well. The makeup just being a little bit more, you know, delicate, I guess you could say, or specific. Have a more of a flow. Change the edges here, the corners, the endings, make them sharper, and then them kind of widen as they continue on their journey. And then in the end, get sharp again, right here. And then here we do the same. There you go. We go to the other side, we do it there as well. So we can compare before and after. Okay. After, before, after, hold on. There you go. Before, after. Maybe the iris is a little bit too big. You can make them maybe a little bit smaller, but overall just making it a little bit bigger can probably help in the overall look. And then looking at medium details and the hair structure. Those would be my tips to make it look more realistic. And then, oh, a skin shader as well. Okay. Let's proceed. Okay. The next one is from Passion. There you go. Another character. And I'm actually pretty happy with this one. I'm impressed, let's say. Comparing it to the previous artwork or the previous submission, I think there are big improvements to the previous one. Let's look at the previous one real quick, which would be this one right here. Well, let's look at the front view. So this is the front view of the last one that they submitted. And then this is the new one. Let's look at the front view. You can see big changes between the two. Not only, well, we only need these. Big changes in the structure of the face. I think you definitely improved a lot on the planes of the face. You can see the face has more structure. The lips have more structure. You can see the jawline is more defined. You can see the forehead has some structure. You can see some shadows under the eyebrows here as well. The nose has the nice crease here in the back. The head shape is, you know, more like a trapezius, I guess, rather than quite flat or quite thin in the front as well as in the back. So props to that. I like it. It's a huge improvement to this one. Good job. Comparing these two, for example, here. Same with the lip shape. I like it. There's something that you can change, or that there are some changes that you can do to make it even better. Let's say. Let's put it in Blender and do some scribbling. Okay. So first of all, I think I'm going to look at the profile view first. There you go. Do I have my paint? No, I don't. There you go. Okay. First of all, let's talk about the proportions of the head. Generally speaking, that is something that I actually recently learned, but, well, no, let's go to the most basic proportions first. The head, well, hold on, the skull shape, no, okay, so if you draw a sphere into the skull right here, right there, in the middle of that sphere should be the jaw, and then behind that should be the ear, or somehow like somewhere in that line. So if the middle is somewhere over here, I think the ear is in a pretty good position. It could maybe be a little bit further back. Maybe it could stay there. You know, I think that's a good positioning. One thing that is sort of bothering me right now, though, is the position of the face overall. I think you can put the face a little bit higher. I think pushing all that just a little bit higher can, yeah, improve the character overall. Let's look at a profile reference. And generally speaking, in the middle of the head, so somewhere over here, well, if you go to the height, if we go, this is the middle, this is the bottom part, here's the top. Looking at the middle, which should probably be somewhere over here, that's where your eyes should be. Where your eyes most, or, you know, yeah, should be as a general rule for the basic proportions. So you can probably bring the eyes a little bit higher. Then the bottom of like the skull back here roughly ends between the nose and the mouth, which is pretty good. But I think if you move the eyes a little bit higher, you can also move the nose a little bit higher, which means you can bring the skull, the back of the skull a little bit higher. And yeah, I think the rule is half of the head is the eye position, half of the distance from the eye position to the bottom of the jaw or chin is where you place the nose, and then half of that. So you have basically, this is the half for the eyes, this is the half for the nose, and then this is the half for the mouth. Generally to place your proportions. if I remember correctly. Let's look at a reference to see the difference. I don't know if I have a profile reference. Female face reference. No, no, profile. Let's look at this one. Or this one. Okay. There you go. Let's remove all this garbage. How can we remove it? I guess we can just do this. Okay. Comparing the two, you can see how basically most of the face right now is in this quarter of the face. Comparing it to the reference though, you can see you can probably move what you have right here, probably all the way to over here, maybe to over here. So this would be where the eyebrows are. This would maybe be where the eyes are. And yeah, just to, you know, move everything a little bit higher, and maybe you can, I don't think you need to space it out more. Maybe you can space out the distance from the nose to the lips and the chin. But overall, just placing the face a little bit higher can probably help the proportions. Maybe you can even remove some of the volume here in the back, and maybe even up here to make it more proportional, I guess you could say. Link the object file of the model. Okay, hold on. There it is. Oh no, you pinged me. Unbelievable. I can't even see if you ping me if I have if the stream is running. So you can ping me as much as you want. I'm not gonna see it until it's done. Okay. Let's go into the model and then we can do the changes. Oh, it's an OBJ, okay. There you go, perfect. Now we have the image and the model. Where am I? Wrong. There you go, okay. 8, and there you go. Okay. Oh, with the eyeballs, did you put them in the same OBJ? Oh, okay. Okay. Then we can look at the proportions in here. Okay. So first of all, I like the structure. I think it looks way deeper, as we said before. You can see the lip shape is way more defined. You can see, we actually see a little bit of like a, you can see the muscles right here a little bit, but you can also see the lip going into the middle here very clearly. Let me enable this so I can see exactly the flat view. So you can see this very, very nice clear line here going up. You can see the lip is quite defined. You could maybe make it a little bit smoother if you want to, but it's not really a huge deal. One thing you can keep in mind for the lip shape is that for the lower lip, you have two circles right here, which are basically the muscles that come from here and go into here like this. So you have two bumps right here for the shape of the lower lip. They are there to kind of pull them apart, the lip. And then for the upper lip, you have one that comes from here. You have plenty actually that go to the upper lip. I think you have one right here as well. But generally speaking, you have one in the middle, which is where the sort of circle of muscles for the mouth connects. So you have the sort of bump in the middle, and then you have two bumps here on the sides, which are also from muscles that connect there. So right now, the lip shape, looking from the side, I think it has a little bit of roundedness, but the roundness is only in the middle of the lips. I think what you can do is you can just bring it out a little bit here. Add some more volume here to make it rounder there as well. There you go. Maybe a little bit more here. There you go. Okay. There you go. Let's go over the head proportions in general. Let's move the face a little bit higher. I think from the front you don't really see it too much, but I think especially when you look from the side, you can see it. I want to try something. What if I use a mask like this? There you go. And I smooth it. Probably gonna look horrible, but I want to try it for a second. Wait, why is symmetry not on? Okay. And then I want to use the where are you? Where is you? There it is, the move brush. Let's see if that works. Ooh, hey, it works. There you go, just a little bit higher. Okay. There you go. If you want to use the whatever that mask is called, you press Shift A. Oh. Hello. Something happened. There you go. If you want to do this sort of circle select mask, you hover over what you want to select and you press Shift A to increase the selection more and more and more. Back in the day, you could actually use it in a way where you could select an arm like this until you have everything selected. The problem now is though that it actually jumps to geometry that is not connected. So if you want to select, I don't know, here you want to have 2 protrusions like this, and you only want to select one of these, it doesn't work anymore, because if you do it like this, at some point it's going to jump over to the other one as well. I didn't do it right there, but I promise you they changed it, okay? Yeah, which is kind of annoying, but Shift A is how you can do it. So you can probably move the head just a little bit bigger, then we can adjust the jaw here a little bit. There you go. I think the shape of the jaw is pretty good. One thing you can keep in mind, which I think fits quite well right now. Oh. Yeah, I don't know why, but screencasts are always off. There you go. So Shift A. There you go. Ooh. There's also, I think, Alt Shift A to do the same, but with detecting the normals of the faces, which is kind of janky, but it kind of replaces the old way of selecting with Shift A, but not really. But yeah, there you go. So moving the head a little bit higher to, bring it, a little bit higher compared to the previous version. Now it's instead of covering more of the overall head, the forehead isn't as big anymore. You can maybe remove some of the space back here, maybe not too much. One thing that sort of, I think, not necessarily defines female faces, but from what I've seen, generally, oftentimes female faces have the peak point in the middle. You can see it here in the reference as well. It starts quite low down here, then it goes high, and then it goes low again. Sometimes people have like high in the back, high in the front, or high in the middle. Generally speaking, I think for females, high in the middle is a good way to go. I wouldn't say that it's only for females like a rule, but I've oftentimes seen it for them. Then we have the ears, which are in a pretty good spot. We could maybe put them a little bit higher, comparing it to the nose height. You can see this is the height right there. Going back here, we can see it's a little bit too low. So let's pull them a little bit higher. Right there. There you go. And then for where they end, we go to the eyelid roughly. Go back here. That's where they should end roughly. So we can probably pull them a little bit longer. Just like this. There you go. Okay. Well, that's the eye, the ear shape. Eye. Why did I say eye? Okay. I think the nose looks pretty good already. I like the shape. One thing you could maybe adjust would be the thickness of the nostrils. Nostrils in general are quite thin, so I think just pulling them a little bit further apart, bringing them a little bit, you know, closer together right there. Maybe even further out. There you go. Maybe even what I like to do sometimes is add a small letter sort of curve in here so that it goes in and then out again and then in like this. There you go, you can't really see it from the side. That is because if you look at the proportions or the anatomy of the face or the nose, you have the middle part right here, which kind of sort of wraps over the tip of the nose, and then you have these two pieces that wrap over the tip, and then you have the nostril that goes around here and then goes underneath these tips, which is why if they go underneath, you have this sort of gap right here where they need to tuck under. So it kind of goes from being wide to slimmer and then sort of wide again. So you get this S curve. If we want to, I guess, accentuate it, we could go in here and do something like this. So this is the tip. There you go. And then we have the nostrils right here. We can maybe pull this a little bit further back. Okay. Which is also supported by the nostril shape. It doesn't have to be super defined like this, but they basically go in here underneath like this. Then you have the tip, which ends right there, and you have the bridge right here, which at some point transitions to the bony part right here. There you go. So if you want to smooth all this, you're gonna get a nice nose. Well, the tip is quite defined still. We can maybe make it a little bit smoother. There you go. And yeah. There you go. We can compare them afterwards, what we changed. But yeah. Nostril shape, a little bit more like ovals and like sort of inwards facing. Maybe give the nose sort of this S shape, going wide, slim, and then wide again. Or out, in, out. Bring the face higher so that you sort of reduce the overall length coming from up here to all the way down here. Let's go to the eyes. Should we change the eyes? Can we, or is there something we could change? Generally speaking, it kind of seems like right now maybe that's because I changed something, but looking at the shape right here, you can see you have like two layers. You have the bridge of the nose that then transitions to the eyebrows, and then you have another layer right here, which then transitions to over here. And generally speaking, these two layers sort of go into each other. They're not really that separated. We can look at the reference here. Yeah, I'm gonna re-import it once we compare the two. You can see it right here. Look at it's like a transition. I'm gonna show you where this layer comes from. So this layer basically is a combination of two fat pads. You have the fat pad that lies on top of the eyelid right here underneath the eyebrow, which goes from here all the way into the middle, gets quite thin here and ends right here. And then you have another one that is generally speaking here and then goes into the middle as well. You can maybe even count the one that is right here. It's kind of low res, so you can't really see the lines. There you go. So you have three that kind of contribute to this corner. One thing to keep in mind though, that in this corner there isn't really a fan pad, which means they all kind of meet in the middle, but here it gets quite thin and quite deep, which is why this spot is so deep here. So you can basically do this, kind of bring it deeper, do something like this. You can create a nice line here because this fan pad transitions to the bony part right here. Hydrate, yeah, hold on. I'm concentrated, okay? There you go. Water can wait. And then you have the fan pad right here. I'm gonna highlight them or accentuate them some more. Put them maybe even over the eyes right here. There you go. So this is the fan pad right here, which roughly ends over here. the corner is quite deep because there's nothing really that can, where there's no real fan pad there. Then you have the fan pad underneath the eye, right here, like this. You can especially see it in old people, which then goes into the middle. And then you have another one which connects to the nose right here and goes out like this. There you go. So you have 3 that contribute to this corner right here, but all of them sort of end before they sort of create this layer. They all end here, but there's nothing kind of transitioning from one to the other, which is why you get this this deep corner right there. There you go. Looking very old there. Let me smooth this out. There you go. Also, one thing you can keep in mind, which is super weird for the eye shape. I always wondered like how it works for a long time. The muscle of the eye, like so this one right here, going around the eye, the eyelids, basically the muscle of the eyelids is one muscle. You have the lower part and then the upper part. Looking at the muscle, it's something like this. It connects to the side here, connects to the side here, and then it splits in the middle and does something like this. Which means if we go to the outer corner, it doesn't end like in a bow like this. It actually ends just in a corner like this. It's sort of weird if you think about it. Like, why do muscles just end like this? Aren't they like, if you have two, like an upper eyelid and a lower eyelid, wouldn't one cover the other? It's actually just one muscle that then connects together, or, you know, merges together again like this. There you go. Okay. Yeah. Hold on, let me look at the profile view again. I think there's one more thing that I want to mention. Maybe not necessarily. We could talk about the depth of the face, maybe. We talked about it before. Generally speaking, Caucasian faces are deeper than, for example, Asian faces when you look at the profile view. So what you could do is you could maybe pull everything a little bit further back. You can give it a little bit more length from the sidewise. What I mean is you can, for example, pull the lips a little bit further back. You can maybe pull the nose a little bit further back. The lips generally end where the nose ends, maybe a little bit further. Right here. There you go. Then you can put the eyes further back as well. Give it a little bit more room. There you go. Just kind of, you know, lengthen the face a little bit. There you go. You could argue that you can pull everything a little bit further forward or backwards, but I think that's okay for now. Maybe you can pull this a little bit further forward. There you go. Okay. Chin. What do you mean with chin? The chin, I mean, you know, I think the chin overall looks pretty good. You could say, well, the chin is basically like this sort of ball here in the front, but it doesn't have to be that way always, you know. Sometimes it's quite pointy, and I think this one, you know, it's not really peaking my my alert is not going off right now. One thing that I can see right here, I think, is that the eyes might be a little bit further apart than they need to be. Generally speaking, the general rule for the most basic proportions is the outer, the width of the nostrils indicate, the width of the nose indicate where the inner corner of the eye begins. So we can probably, if you look at it, pulling a line up, we can probably pull the corner in a little bit more. Right here, we can pull them into the middle a little bit more. There you go, just a little bit. And then we can go from the middle of the lips here, go over with a line. Let me actually switch this to stroke line. There you go. We can go from here, draw a line over the nostril, and that's roughly where you should meet the outer corner of the eye, which is pretty good. So we probably only have to move them inwards a little bit. There you go. Pull this maybe a little bit higher here. Okay, I think the eyeballs overall can be a little bit bigger then, because we have made the eyes a little bit bigger as well. So we use a good old scale. Oh. Well, this doesn't work. Why? Okay. There you go. And then one thing that you could maybe change would be the eye height. There you go. Wait. Oh. I think the eye height could be a little bit too high, looking at the distance between, like, the length of the nose. Maybe you can lower them a little bit. So if we go in here and just select them. There you go. Maybe lowering them a little bit can help as well. I don't want to make them too small here. Okay. There you go. Let's compare this one to the previous one. I kind of butchered the nose bridge right here. Let's kind of bring it back. There you go. Compare this one to the previous one. Oh, maybe you could say the chin could be a little bit bigger, like a longer, but we're gonna leave it right there for now. Let's import it again. Okay. Hold on. Okay. It's kind of hard to compare the two. Let's how can we do this? Oh, you know what? We're just gonna look at them. So this is the first, or this is one of them. Or, well, hold on. We're gonna go with this view. There you go. We can compare the two like this. So we brought some more. So now that we have, you know, a more defined, the planes are more defined in the face, we can look at the proportions a little more, adjust them a little bit, you know, to kind of just, you know, bring it into some, I guess, more natural proportions. And then we also added some, we kind of refined the surface a little bit, brought a little bit of a like medium level detail as well. You could say we can maybe make the this face a little bit, you know, smaller, or, you know, thinner, less wide. But I think this is a good comparison here. Small changes you can do, especially here, like the size of the eyes, for example, make them a little bit bigger, or the nose shape. You can especially see it from down here. This ones are more like circles, this one's more like ovals going into the middle. Lips, almost stayed the same. We've added some volume here to the sides of the middle, I guess, middle bump. We also pulled the face overall a little bit higher. This way, first of all, the forehead isn't as long, and the face overall is in a more middle spot of the face overall. It's more, it doesn't only occupy the bottom half of the face. Yeah. There you go. Look at him. Real anatomy, best anatomy. Should I learn how to sculpt realistic face if I want to sculpt only stylized faces? So generally speaking, if you want to simplify something, what you do in stylization, then you should at least, then you should know how it looks realistically first. So if you want to simplify a football, you first should know, maybe, oh well, not necessarily, but you know, it's maybe a bad example, but if you want to simplify a soccer ball, knowing that there's a rubber ball inside, and then there's these leather patches which connect together, which are sewn together to create this spherical shape. You know, if you know that, you can probably simplify the shape a little bit better, because you know how it looks realistically. And then, you know, if you want to simplify something, you know how you need to know how it looks when it's complex. Referring that back to stylized characters, for example, to create realistic looking stylized characters, you need to know how realistic characters overall look like, because otherwise it's quite simple to simplify or to think about what a simplified face would look like, but then simplifying it in a way that isn't really realistic. For example, if you don't know that there are cheekbones, you might just simplify the face by doing, I don't know, this for example. Simplified the face, there you go. And then we simplify the face up here. Simplified, there you go, perfect. And you know, you simplified the face, but it looks kind of weird right now. And you know, maybe you wonder why it looks so weird. It's because there are cheekbones, and there are like these bones right here on the side of the eyebrows that you need to know that they're there by learning anatomy before you can really simplify them. Yeah, basically. You can of course create stylized faces without studying anatomy, but they will look way better if you study anatomy. So I would suggest learning anatomy first before you, well, while you create stylized characters. Maybe, you know, you can create some stylized characters, and then you can go into you can create an anatomy study, for example, and then you can go back to your stylized character, switching between the two. You know, if you like stylizing more or creating stylized characters more, could be maybe like a good like mix up between the two. You don't have to wait to create stylized characters until you perfectly know what the anatomy looks like or what the anatomy of a human face is before you can get into, you know, stylization, for example. There you go. Yeah. Generally speaking, from the styles that I've seen so far, oftentimes stylization means in defining specific character or specific traits, and I guess undefining other traits. So for example, for the Disney style, you would have like big eyes, small mouth, small nose. For Fortnite, you have for Fortnite, the style is more something like refining specific edges and smoothing out other edges. So I think for the Fortnite style, for example, you have very sharp, very, I guess, edgy faces with then smooth surfaces between them. So like this. Then you have the lips, which are quite sharp, like this. Smooth, well, maybe not like this, but you know, Then you have the eye here, like this. Simplifying, yeah, exactly. This way you can, well, this is not really looking like a Fortnite character, but you know what I mean. Sharp corners followed by smooth surfaces, basically. There you go. Yeah, this way you can stylize characters, but before you do that, you need to know what the structure, the real structure is to create simplified, realistic characters, basically. Okay, yep. Now I destroyed the comparison. I don't think I can go back far enough. Can I? No, I can't. Okay, well, that's too bad. But I think we got a pretty good look. If you want to see it again, you need to rewind. But I think we covered a few things that you can change. You know, overall, bring the face a little bit higher. Nose shape, nose anatomy. The fat pads, the distribution, how they're kind of meet in the middle here, but there's this hole because there's nothing that transitions from one to the other, so there's no layering here. And then maybe, you know, studying the planes of the face a little bit more, and maybe even going into some medium details as well. So like the fat distribution, how the muscles affect the volume of the face, stuff like that can probably help as well. Okay, yeah, that's it for this piece. Let's go to number 3. Number 3 is another file. So let's look at number 3. Here, from Hustler. We will open the file. Who would have guessed? Nope. Well, let me save it for whatever reason. Nope. It's not really usable anymore, so I'm gonna delete it. Okay. Oh, hold on. There you go. Okay. I've seen you've used a new technique for eyelids, using another sphere, adding those to create very defined eyelids. You know, it's another way to do it. Okay. Well, I guess we can speak about we can speak about the proportions again. I think that would be the best way to do this. Hold on. 95. Oh no. Okay, let's go to 50. There you go. Where are you? Where's your grid? Did you remove the grid? Trying to troll me? I don't really need the grid, but it's confusing to not have it. What are these? What did you do with this? Is that like no? Oh, I guess those are references. I guess so. Okay. Okay. Let's look at this. Okay, let's begin. So, first of all, the one thing that you maybe, okay, so let's talk about one thing that I've seen in your sculpts quite frequently. I think that you can maybe pay attention to for the next one. Try to sort of reduce the bulkiness of your forehead, or the upper, I guess, part of the head a little bit. I think that can help a lot. Especially if you add hair, you don't really see it too much, but generally speaking, the upper part of the head isn't super, isn't that big, let's say. So especially if we look at references like this one, especially if we look at the angle that you can see here, you can see the nose goes up, and then it kind of creates a curve that goes out again, but then it immediately after the curve or after the bump goes backwards again. Of course, there are also examples where it's not like this, for example. It is more something like, can we see it here? Let's go to forehead shapes. There you go. You have a straight forehead. You have one that is going backwards. You have one that is slightly sort of convex, as they say here. Wavy. Okay, I think I've seen that before. Where the bone here in the front for the eyebrows is quite defined. But generally speaking, I think what you can do is you can just make it less curved here in the front. You can probably just move it backwards a little bit, and then also bring this slightly further down. There you go. Okay. Oh, dude, why is symmetry always deactivated? Unbelievable. Are you sculpting without symmetry? I guess because you've sculpted the hair. Okay. So you can either bring it backwards like this, or you can leave it straight, or you can even like bring in a slight bump here in the front, like this, make the bone here in the middle a little bit more defined, like this, which could also bring in some more depth. Right here, maybe, you know, doing this. Can help. And then you can bring the forehead slightly back like this, and then you can overall just remove some volume here. You can see how fast the face changes by just changing that small part of the head. There you go. Can we compare it with before and after? Let's go do it afterwards. Okay, there you go. That's one thing. Another thing, which is, you know, subjective if you want, but 3D references, yeah, that's what I figured. Generally speaking, the eyebrows for female characters are, you know, generally speaking quite, I guess, either kept or, well, kept and thin. Of course, if we look at some other references or some specific references like this one, for example, it's not necessarily the case that they are super, they don't really seem super, well, they might be kept, but they're not really super thin. What kind of course, they could be, you know, what you were going for. What kind of irks me right now is the angle. It looks very angry. And that is just because of the how low the eyebrows here get, how low they go. Comparing it to this one, for example, you can see it doesn't really look very angry, just because, for example, the inner part of the inner end, or the beginning of the eyebrows here in the middle, isn't very low compared to the outer corner. Comparing it to yours, it's quite low. You can see it here. What you can do is you can just kind of raise it a little bit to kind of remove the angry look, if you were going for that. Maybe, you know, you wanted to make something more, I guess, angry. There you go. One thing that I think you can also do is bring in a little bit of a more defined bone for the eyebrow. If we look at some 3/4 shots right here, let's look at some 3/4 faces. I can show you what I mean. This one, of course, there's hair. Let's see. For him, you can see it with the shadows. You can see a sort of plane right here and right here, and then the eyebrows create like another plane that faces forward a little bit more. Let's see a better reference though. This one is, I think, pretty good. You can see right here how it sort of goes outwards, then inwards again, and then outwards again, indicating that there's like a bone that is slightly protruding. Just throw some eyebrows on the face so it wouldn't look weird. This is not a refined sculpt, it's just my daily one for today. I'm gonna critique what you're gonna give me, okay? I'm gonna give you feedback on what you're gonna give me. It doesn't matter, there are no excuses, okay? Okay, so what you could do maybe, you can especially see it from here. This part is like a bump. You have a bump right there, but the eyebrow itself is quite there. It's like it's like caving in. If that's the word? It's like going inwards. Generally speaking, the fat pad is like underneath the eyebrow bone. It is like underneath it in the eye hole, which means what you would usually have is that the eyebrow sort of goes forward like this, and then you would have the fat pad sort of not going further than that out when you look at the silhouette, something more like this. There you go. So you can just pull them out a little bit more to create this sort of triangle here, or this sort of, yeah, triangle or plane shape going from here to here. And then you can maybe even accentuate it or highlight it by pushing this in just a little bit like this. What really changes the angle of the eyebrow is, for one, of course, the change in direction. But what also contributes is the plane change. So you can see it goes like this, and then because it kind of follows the plane, it also goes down a little bit. You can see it with this one, how it changed. Because exactly where the plane changes here, you can see how it transitions to this downwards angle. There you go. Those eyes. Okay, let's look at the eyes. Overall, I think, of course, if you're speaking about quick sketches, it might not be very, like, of course, if you're speaking about 2 hours, maybe you can't really spend too much time on it. But generally speaking, the eyelid shape looks something like this. You have your iris, and then if you look at the eyeball shape, it is something like a sphere, and then you have a bump here in the front for the iris, which means if the muscle of the eyelids go around the eyeball like this, because there's this bump, the bump pushes the eyelids further apart, which means if we implement that in the shape here, it would mean that where the iris is, the eyelids are the widest apart, like this. Right now, the eyelids, I would argue, are the widest over here somewhere, like over here. I think if you make them here sort of similar to here, I think it'll look a little bit more natural. I don't know if we can do that here. Oh, we can. Okay, hold on. So what you can do is let me see. What is that? It's just like a sausage. Okay. So what you could do is you could lower it a little bit, like this. There you go. We can do the same down here. Generally speaking, the eyelid down here starts pretty horizontal. So you can have this spot right there. It goes horizontal, then it goes down because it gets pushed apart by the eyelid. And then it goes back up again. There you go. Wait. Okay. Like this. Yeah, we're gonna look at before and afterwards. Of course, the problem is if you use different shapes or different objects for the eyelids, you can't really create a nice transition from the eyelid to the rest of the face, which means they will always kind of look tired. Very dark, very defined eyelids usually make the character look more, like either it looks like it has, he or she or they has makeup on, or it makes them look sort of tired. You have like darkened lower eyelids, or like a darkened, like, I don't know what you call those, eye shadows, when you're more tired, for example. But yeah, so you can change the eyelid shape, for example, to, you know, create a more natural eye shape. For the side view, I think overall it's pretty good. One thing to keep in mind is because the eyelid or the eyeball is slightly higher and gets covered by the upper eyelid more than the lower eyelid, because the eyelid is a sphere, the upper eyelid is further forward than the lower eyelid. Like further forward right here. The other one is a little bit slightly further back. I think it is already, I think that's pretty good. Just moving it slightly further forward. We can then maybe move these. There you go. Right there. I think that's pretty good. Wait, there you go, okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So those are the eyes. Maybe they could be slightly further in the middle. Let's go over the nose real quick. Oh, we have the same case here of layering right there. As we said before. Oh. We have this fat pad going in here in the middle. Then we have the deep spot right here, where there's this bone. And then where's the transition from this fat pad to the other ones down here. There you go. This fan pad comes from here, goes to the side, maybe even covering this. It doesn't need to be super defined necessarily. There you go. We have the nose right here. Let's cover this fan pad a little bit more here. There you go. You can especially see it in the 3/4 view. You have your cheekbone right here, cheekbone right there, right here. Then you have the fan pad right there. And then you also have a fan pad on the corner of the mouth. So the lips go into the mouth right here. And what covers the mouth, the corner, is sort of like this fan pad right here. Which also creates this lip shape like this. Okay, well, hold on. There you go. Okay. Let's go to the nose real quick. Okay, there you go. Okay. The nose. Let's look at it. I think overall the nostril and the tip might be, I don't really have good references for the tip or nostril, but overall, like proportional wise, I usually boolean them together, but my PC struggles a bit at that res. Didn't bother. Yeah. No, I mean, you know, if that's easier for you to sculpt that way, then, you know, do it that way. I don't really have good references or good proportions for the tip of the nose. If we look at the references here, I don't really, I can't say like, oh well, 2/3 of the bridge or 2/3 of the nose is the bridge, and then 1/3 is the tip. You could maybe say that. It sort of fits, I think, but I think that's also slightly situational, or for every person different. Like this one, well, it could fit maybe 1, 2, well, this half, 1, yeah, maybe. So if you go with that, thirds, we have 2/3 for the nose, which would be from here to here. Oh, from here to there. 1, 2, maybe a little bit more. Oh, hello. There you go. Well, do we have to go all the way to... Hold on. Yeah, let's go all the way down. There you go. Let's say 1, 2, 3. There you go. There you go. Then, well, the problem is if we just look up references, you could say, well, it looks like this and it looks like this, but I would like to have some like some sort of way how you can know how the proportions are without having to look at references. Of course, references are always good, but there has to be some rule. There's rules for everything in the face. So what I would suggest is, first of all, of course, it is subjective, but looking at profile views, for example, for faces, generally speaking, oftentimes, not always, the nose angle where it starts is either slightly bent upwards or straight forward or down. I think you can sort of very slightly reduce the angle. You can bring it a little bit lower right here. Then you can bring the tip lower as well. There you go. Which immediately kind of makes the tip a little bit shorter. There you go. You already have slightly, we have this H shape right here. You can talk about the ovals. Generally speaking, the nose holes go all the way to the mouth muscles, I guess you could say. So they go all the way to here. Looking at what it was before, they stopped and went inwards. Generally speaking, the nostrils connect to the bone right here. If you look at the, well, you can look at my video about the nose anatomy on my videos channel. You have the nose hole, which looks something like this, which is kind of hard to show right here for the skull. Like, well, it's actually more like, oh, hold on, there you go, more like this. And the nose hole gets covered at the bottom by the sort of tip that you have here in the bottom, the middle piece. Then the nostrils cover the sides. And then, of course, the rest is covered by the bridge and the inner part here. Use my nose as reference nostrils. Okay. Touching myself. Well, nobody needs to hear that, okay? Another reason to ban you. Don't get too many, okay? So what you can do is, well, we can look at mine. Hold on, let me look at. There you go. Let me check if it's actually not just like mine. Well, okay. So, hold on. I don't want to expose my nostril like this. But if we look at nose, well, anatomy. Come on, where's the bottom view? There it is. Well, that's, well, hold on. There it is. You can see it goes inwards, but it not only goes inwards, it also goes, I'm going to show you what it is. It is like this, and then goes upwards. So it does this. This is why you get the nostril shape that looks like this. It connects here, but then what you see here is it goes upwards like this. Which means that you get something like, oh, well, that's quite low. You get, first of all, something like this, and then maybe even you go upwards, like this. That's sort of the shape that you get. There you go. There you go. It doesn't, well, sometimes it kind of seems like it goes like this. But generally speaking, it goes inwards like this. There you go. I don't know if I can show it to you before and after. We're going to do that afterwards. But yeah, that's like the shape. goes inwards. Sometimes it goes like horizontal, and sometimes it goes slightly downwards like this. But generally speaking, it doesn't connect to the middle piece right here. The middle piece is something that stands separately. It goes above it, basically, like this. There you go. Okay. The tip looks pretty good. Now, we can push it down a little bit. Of course, as we talked before, the tip is something like this, going outwards afterwards, like this. There you go. So I think this shape is pretty good. You can make it rounder or less, like more pointy, however you want it to make, you know. Like this is more pointy. You can also make it rounder, like this. Depends on what you want to do. Make the tip a little bit less pointy by bringing them out a little bit more here. So many different shapes for the nose. There you go. Yeah. I think that's those are some changes you can do for the nose. Of course, then you have the good old line right here, going back like this, going down next to this fat pad right here. This one. You have the line right there. The line doesn't necessarily need to be there. Sometimes for more younger characters, it's quite, you know, almost non-existent. But in some lighting, I guess, positions you can still see it. There you go. And then, of course, maybe what you could do is, I think the cheekbone looks pretty good. What you could do maybe is push this here, depending on what you want to do. Of course, you have the fat pad that goes all the way down here, which adds the volume right here. If the character is supposed to look more fit or young, generally speaking, this is quite, you know, a little bit closer together. Just because this fat pad that is right here doesn't have as much volume, which also probably means that you don't really have the cheekbone right here is slightly more exaggerated. Of course, it also always depends on what kind of character you want to create, but generally speaking, if you have less fat, your bone structure will be more defined. There you go. You could maybe even say we have a little bit less here. There you go. Okay. We can also then say that we have the jaw. And how does the jaw move? Because there's a muscle that goes and attaches here to the jaw and attaches to the cheekbone right there. Da-da-da. That's the muscle. And when the muscle pulls together, when muscles act, they crunch together, which means it goes in this direction. It gets smaller, it condenses itself. So what you could do is you could add a little bit of volume here, right there, to kind of work against the sort of crease that is right here, or help the crease be more defined, I guess you could say. There you go, like this. That's quite extreme, but yeah, there you go. Okay, that's a nice lean dude or person. There you go. We have these muscles right here, which don't need to be super defined. Generally speaking, what you can also do, you don't need to end them here. You can sort of transition them. They don't need to have this shape. They can also sort of transition over here, like this. That can also work. So if you think they're too defined, you can sort of grab them and just add a little bit more volume up here, so they have a nicer transition to the rest of the face. There you go. I think the lip shape looks pretty good. I like the silhouette. The definition looks also pretty good. You could argue that you could make the top lip a little bit sharper, but that's probably not really that important, or maybe subjective. Yeah, I think the lips look pretty good if you add the fat pad right there. There you go. Lower lip looks pretty good too. What you need to keep in mind is that the lips, both lips end in the corner of the mouth. So this line right here kind of ends, sort of has to go to the corner of the mouth as well. Right now it kind of looks like it goes in this direction. You could say that it right here then makes a huge turn inwards, which looks kind of weird from the side. So what I would suggest is to just move them a little bit higher so they kind of indicate that they go into the corner, like this. And then to create a transition or a smoother corner right here that we've talked about before, you add the muscle that is contributing to these two pads right here at the bottom of the lips. They connect there from down here. You can add those to make the corner right here a little bit smoother. And this way you can see how the lips are very sharp down here, but then once they sort of transition to the corner of the mouth, you can see that they kind of get taken over by the shape or the bump from these muscles. And then they end in this sort of very smooth ending right here. You could maybe sometimes, of course, if they're not super defined, you can keep this sharp line for quite a long time, but generally speaking, the end is very smooth for the bottom lip. There you go. There you go, okay. Okay. The chin looks pretty good. Chin is nothing crazy. Sometimes you have the bump up here. Sometimes you have it more down here. Sometimes you have it somewhere down here. Just depends on, the character, I guess. There you go. Like a mean PE teacher. Yeah. Okay. Maybe you could bring the eyes a little bit more into the middle. Of course there are one mesh, so I can't just use the move tool. I guess I just have to move them like this. Wait, oh, hold on. I can change the fall off. There you go. There you go. And oh, smoother? Nope, that's too much smoothness. There you go. Maybe you can make them even. Yeah, there you go. No, edit mode is boring. There you go. So we've defined the eyebrow corner a little bit more, these planes right here. We have defined the nostril shape a little bit more, where it doesn't go and connects to the middle right here, but it actually goes from here into and over the middle, like this, in this sort of C shape, or I don't know, spiral. We said the nose tip is generally 1/3 of the overall nose length. This is an experimental fact, okay? Could be wrong. We've added this fan pad right here that you can also extend a little bit if it looks too defined. Just adding it like this. We added the fan pad right here to, first of all, yeah, because it's such a prominent fan pad, and also to create this line right here. You could say we can also create the fan pad that is right here if we wanted to, but it's more of an optional fan pad, you could say. Some people have it more, some people have it less. So we could say, well, you can add it right here. There you go. We've defined the cheekbone a little bit more. We've removed some volume right here. You can see it right here. It kind of caves in before it went out. More like this. See, now the character has some more. It's just a little bit fuller, just because we moved this outwards a little bit. So not caving in anymore. So if you move this outwards, you can see we make this character a little bit more voluptuous. Let's put him on a diet for a second. Let's see how many Control Z's we need. There you go. We didn't really change the ears. Sometimes you have ears that immediately go over to the jaw. Sometimes you have actual like earlobes that hang down. So that's more optional. The C shape looks pretty good. One thing to keep in mind is that the outer rim is pretty sharp, and then it goes like, there's actually like a crease in here that goes like this. It's not just rounded, it's actually like a deep crease right here. Like this. There you go. And then you have the not a J shape, okay? We don't have a J shape right here. We have a Y shape that looks like this. There you go. Okay. And then we also changed the forehead a little bit. We changed the bulkiness that we had here in the front. We brought this slightly back and brought the overall head height a little bit down. Okay. Oh, one thing, I don't know, you probably just didn't do it because it's just a head, but adding these very slightly, at least to the shape, can make it look more natural as well. Because right now it just looks like a sphere, but if you actually cut a neck in half, or like create a slice out of the neck, it's not really a sphere. It has like this. It also has the Adam's apple right here, which is maybe not super defined for most like female characters, for example. Oh. You have maybe some creases right there. There you go. And then you have the neck muscles, which then go forward. Also don't need to be super defined. There you go. And then that's, yeah, perfect. Okay, there you go. Let's compare it to the previous version. Oh, somebody, Zachary mentioned, yeah, the ears. Yeah, I think one thing that can help is just maybe do 1 or 2 ear studies, and then you should probably, you'll probably understand the structure of the ear. Overall, it's quite simple, as we said before. You know, C, and then the Y right there. Yeah. You could say that it's a little bit too round. You could bring it forward a little bit, like this. It's something more like this. There you go. There you go. Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, maybe, you know, you can do 1 or 2 ear studies, and then that's probably a solved mystery or a solved case. Okay. Yeah, let's compare it to the old version, so we can probably see the changes a little bit better. So what I'll do is I'll go into no, we're just gonna import it. Append, there you go. Oh, I need to save it, hold on. Let's call it as study version 2 version 3. No, let's call it version 2. There you go. Okay. Where's the object? Nope. I need... Wait. You don't even have collections? Unbelievable. Okay, I guess I gotta grab the object then. Oh no, can I select all of it? Oh, I can. Nice. There you go. Okay. Oh, it's hard to compare the two like that. What we could do is we could use collections to do it. So we're gonna create a collection for this piece here. Wait, where's my collections? There it is. Hold on, I'm gonna show you what I do. Where's my webcam? There it is. Oh, well that doesn't work. Hold on. No. Well that works, I guess. There you go, you can see it right here. I add a new collection. Collection 1 is new. Collection 2 is old. My usual layout for this, because you mostly can't see it because that's where my face cam is. I have one collection for the lights, one collection for the cameras, one collection for the geometry, and then maybe one collection for empties, but mostly these three. Okay. Hold on, yeah. There you go, perfect. Okay. Yeah, so we have new and old. Which ones is the old one? That's gonna be annoying to set up. That's the old one. Sphere. That's the new one. Old. New. Oh, eyes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Interesting. I think I added one more. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Then by either just selecting all of them, or you can also press Shift to deselect or select all of them, or tick this for each one of them. So what you could do is you could hide sphere, you could hide the eyes, the eyelids like this. And then if you just click on it without pressing Shift, you just hide it and unhide it. But if you want to show everything again, so basically make these visible again as well, you can Shift click to change the mode of all of them. So we have these. That's the new version. Let's look at the old version. Hold on. Let's bring it back to what was it? 95. So that's the new version. Let's look at the old version. Oh, there you go. I have to be quick here. Wait, hold on. How does it? Oh, there it is. I can press 1 and 2. Okay, perfect. Okay, there you go. So that's what I mean with looking at the, especially for example for Zero, looking at the mid-level details, stuff like the fat pads right here, the you know, maybe even the lip shapes because of the muscles that connect to it, maybe the muscles themselves, the fat pad that covers the corner of the mouth, maybe the anatomy of the nose, to, you know, think about each individual part and how it works together to form the nose, how it kind of goes into and above the middle of the nose. The corner right here, you can see how it is poking out more than the fat pad, because the fat pad is in the eyeball, in the eye hole, and sort of underneath it. And then bring the forehead down a little bit. Yeah. Do you want me to put this in the Discord again? Or do you just want to like a... Well, it's kind of bad that I only did it for this one. I would have liked to done that for Passion as well, but I messed up the sculpt. Didn't think I could, you know, I didn't think about it, but do you want me to upload this so you can look at it again? I can do that. And then we, of course, just kind of tightened up and kind of defined some areas some more. We brought the eyes more in the middle, slightly. We changed the eyelid shape so that the iris pushes the eyelids further apart, which means that that's the spot where it's the furthest apart. You could argue maybe the eyes are a little bit too big right now, but that's a change for another day. Here, kissing mouth, and then here's the other one. Hold on. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna probably do that in the future as well. If anybody submits a blend file, I'm gonna change the mesh and then I'm gonna upload it back into the upload it to Discord again. Okay, but that covers all the pieces that have been submitted. Yeah, I'm sorry that I I didn't save the like the scope from Passion. I'm sorry. I should have thought about it. But I thought about it, but then I thought, well, you know, it's ruined anyway, and then, you know, I just deleted it. But yeah, next time I'll definitely do it. So yeah, if you ever, you know, submit a blend file, I'll give it back to you. Okay, yeah, okay. She's trying to suck her cheeks in, to suck some juice with a straw. Yeah, that is mostly because of the very defined cheekbones. If you do this, you can see how much more defined the cheekbones get. See this line right there? Because you pull all the muscles that are right here forward, all that's left is like this hollow space right there. That's why it kind of looks like this. You can maybe even accentuate it even more. Yeah. Okay. Save. Okay, I'm gonna upload that back to the Discord, so you can look at it. You can press 1 and 2. You're too fat. Well, you can look at me, then you can see it. Okay. Yep. There you go. We also have the same with the mouse versus tablet sculpt in the references. Hold on. There you go. Materials. See here? That's what I mean. Because you pull your lips so much forward, all the volume that would be somewhere over here gets pushed forward. Here, especially, you can see how defined the cheekbones are, all the way to the middle, almost to the corner of the lips, just because you pull everything forward, like in the middle, basically. Here. Well, that's not really a good reference. Yeah. Okay. Those are all the pieces that have been submitted. If you want to submit your own, join the Discord, !Discord, or maybe you've already joined. There should also be a link in the description if I remember correctly. If you want to submit your own, we do these either every week or every bi-weekly, depending on how many submissions we get. I'm trying to aim for at least 2 or 3 every time we do one of these. There are different tiers of what you can submit, I guess. Of course, the best one would be the highest tier would be a blend file. The second highest would be a render or a viewport render. I guess tier 3 would be tier 2 is a either viewport render or viewport screenshots from multiple angles, at least profile, front view, and 3/4, maybe even look like from this angle. And then tier 1 would be one image, maybe from the front or the side. Side is probably better than front, but you know, those are the tiers. But yeah, those are all the pieces that we have today. I think we're gonna call it there. I don't think we have too much time to begin modeling the glaive. I'm probably gonna begin modeling the glaive over the weekend. If you're interested in how I did it, I'm probably gonna make a video out of it. I'm probably gonna make a video out of most of what the character consists of, like how you can create these small ornaments or details for the armor, how to invite is not valid. How does that work? I made a new one. I made it indefinite. Okay, I guess I have to change that again. Okay, well, maybe make a new one, I guess. 7 days. Well, I'm gonna make it 7 days for now. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Make sure that if you join, it's accept the rules by clicking the thumbs up button underneath it. When you join, you immediately join the rules room, and then you can post in the Discord. But yeah, this will be the end of the stream. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend and your week. Tomorrow there will be no stream. If you're interested in, as I said before, in how I model the glaive, there will be a video about it. I'll probably not be done after the weekend. Hopefully there will be, because I plan on making a video for next week. A fun idea that I had, which we could maybe do on stream at some point, would be one video idea that I had was basically explaining what every brush does in Blender, like what the exact function of every brush is, because you know what it looks like, but you don't really know what it does necessarily. And then a brush tier list. You know, sort of ranking all the brushes, which ones are the most useful ones, which ones are the worst, I guess. Just like a fun little topic. But yeah, you know, there will be, most likely will be a video next week. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, chatting, or just being here. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Maybe I'll see you next time. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day and the weekend. And yeah, take care.